Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're going to have some fighting words. But before we go any further, I need you to like this video and also subscribe to my channel. So in this video, the upcoming fight, of course, we got to talk about AJ versus Oleksandr Usyk. I am looking forward to this fight. I am so excited about this fight because this is one of the fights you really kind of don't know. I mean, you have the power and brute force of Anthony Joshua, and then you have the IQ and slickness and just the ongoing onslaught of Oleksandr Usyk. The dude throws a billion punches. And he's over 200 pounds, and he throws a billion punches. So let me just break this fight down, what I see. So first I'll say, give you the pros and cons of each person. So first I'm going to start with Anthony Joshua. We have somebody who's big, who's strong, who's also a finisher. That's important. Anthony Joshua isn't the most, he doesn't have the most personality in his fight style, but he's very consistent. And he's kind of like a tank that just kind of pushes forward, really. I mean, he's just like a wall of muscle. He has slimmed down. We will talk about that. But he's pretty much like a wall of muscle that's going to keep coming. I'm not going to give him that much credit when I say this, so please, I'm not like comparing the two, but if you look at him, he reminds you a lot of Sonny Liston. Do I think Anthony Joshua has the skills of Sonny Liston? No. But do I think he hits as hard as Sonny Liston? No. But Sonny Liston lived and died by that jab and just constantly pushing that jab out there. Anthony Joshua is the same way. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of, he's not none of that. It's just straightforward, and he's gonna basically hit you with the battering ram, which is the jab. He, like I said, doesn't have a lot of tools in the shed, but honestly, when you're that big, you're that strong, I don't want to say do you need it, because of course it never hurts to add another weapon to the arsenal. But I will say it's a pretty good weapon to have, just to be, you know, strong and have a lot of pop in your punches and have a strong jab. Anthony Joshua has a great jab as well, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves for the jab that he has. He is a really good jab, and he utilizes his jab to like the fullest extent. I'm not saying he utilizes it like Triple G, who will literally use the jab until it's time to put somebody out of their misery, but Anthony Joshua does use his jab. He won't use it for like rounds 1, 2, and 3 and then abandon it for 4, 5, and 6 and then come back to it around 7. He's not that guy. He's very consistent. That's another strength of Anthony Joshua, consistency. He might get a little boring at times in a fight, but he's consistent. You know what he's coming with. You know he's going to bring it. You know he's not going to outside of the second Ruiz fight, he's not going to like chuck and jive and like try to survive. That, I think that was just, let's just play it safe, if anything. So outside of that, we have strength. We have a simple game plan, but a well-tested, and got to give him extra credit. The game plan has worked in all his other fights. Okay, the game plan has worked. And everybody seems to forget that he did knock Ruiz down first in that fight. Anthony Joshua got clipped trying to finish Ruiz. He didn't get clipped because Ruiz set something up and then caught him with something. No, he got clipped because he was trying to finish Ruiz. He thought Ruiz was on his way out, and Ruiz was like, no, I get hit all the time. It's all good. So Ruiz is getting back to his feet, but Joshua's mind, you're done. You're done. I'm making my U.S. debut, and it's over. You know, and it happens. It happens. They got into a wild exchange. He gets clipped. Happens. So does that say anything against his skill level? No. When you're winning, and he was winning when he knocked Ruiz down, you're not thinking defense. Yes, you should be, but if you just knock the guy down, the guy just made it through an 8 count, it's early in the fight, like you got all your momentum. Yeah, if you can get him out of there, get him out of there. And that's what happened. But that's not important. That's the past. 2021, we're talking about Oleksandr Usyk versus AJ. So like I said, he's got the power. he's got a consistent game plan. Whether you like it or not, he's got a consistent game plan. We got to call it what it is. It's worked several times over, so it's a consistent game plan. I will say it would hurt him on the back end because we know what he's going to do. You know, he's not a finesse guy. Nothing about his fight game is finessing. Nothing about his fight game is like, oh, wow, did you see that? Like, Anthony Joshua is not going to give you that. He's not going to give you dazzling footwork. He's not going to do a Canelo and do all this. Like, he's not doing that. Anthony Joshua is going to hold him up high. He's going to punch you down. And that's basically what he's going to do. He's going to hit you with mostly straight punches until you're hurt. That's when that's when the hooks come out. I think what's going to be very important for Anthony Joshua, which has also been very important in his past fights, but again, when we talk about Anthony Joshua, people are so concerned about, you know, his physique. They tend to overlook a lot of things. Anthony Joshua has an amazing uppercut. Amazing uppercut. I think that's going to play a factor. Mainly because of the way Usyk fights. I think he'll just be in range for it. So I've seen them side by side a few times. Is Anthony like towering over him? No. Does Anthony look overly bigger than him? No. It doesn't look like, you know, him versus Ruiz or anything like that. No. And it doesn't look like Fury versus Wilder. You know, like the weight difference was huge. But it doesn't look like that. Now, mind you, Joshua did slim down for this because they were smart. They know Oleksandr Usyk. He's going to come in. He's going to throw a billion punches, and he's going to move from round 1 to round 12. He's not going to be stationary. He's going to be hitting from every angle. You don't know where it's coming from. You only know that he's going to juggle up sometimes. And he's a very keep you busy type of fighter. You know, Oleksandr Usyk is basically Lomachenko supersized. They came from the same school. Basically, that's what it is. He's literally just a supersized Lomachenko, which is very dangerous because if you think about the skill level of Lomachenko and you put it with the power of somebody who's 200 pounds plus, that's pretty scary. So let me just jump into Usyk real quick, and I'll just go back and forth between the two. What I see with Usyk is, let me start with what concerns me. I'll say it like that. So Oleksandr Usyk, he fought Derek Chisora. There is nothing, repeating, nothing special about Derek Chisora in a boxing ring. He is literally a brawler. That's all he is. He's not a boxer. He's a brawler. He's just going to take whatever you give him so he can get in close, and then he's going to unload. He would prefer if you were on the rings when he does it, but if not, he's willing to do that in the center of the ring. That's basically what he is. Now, you look at that fight with Usyk, I hope I'm really saying your name right, Usyk and Chisora. Chisora is smaller than AJ. And Chisora has been knocked out a few times. So if we're going to say, well, AJ's chin is a little sketchy, well, AJ's never been knocked out. He's been knocked down. Chisora has been knocked out. There's a difference. Okay? So Usyk couldn't dent any of the armor of Derek Chisora. And believe me, he was trying. I mean, he was really trying to get that dude off his back. Chisora was just on him. And that's the difference when you fight a bigger guy. You can have all the skill in the world, but man, once there's like a 20, 30 pound difference, things change. Because that thing that you could do to get somebody else off of you who's your size is not going to work. Or it might work, but you're going to have to produce 2 or 3 of those punches. As for if you two were the same size, you only probably would have had to hit him once to get him off you. Get a little, not necessarily get him off you, but just get a little breathing room. And he couldn't do anything with Chisora. I'm just killing names today. But he couldn't do anything with him. I mean, he was really, you know, the one thing that really shocked me in that fight between those two, Chisora and Usyk, was Usyk seemed tired. And that also comes when you fight a bigger guy. You know, it takes more out of you because you got to move more because you definitely don't want this big guy on you. You don't want him hitting you. You don't want him like grappling you. You don't want any of that. So you move more. But also punching him, it just takes a lot because, okay, if you're fighting somebody your size, you can hit him like 2-3 times. He's not going to take any more than 3 of those things before he moves out of the way. But when they're bigger, it can take about 5 or 6 of those things. You know, in a guy like Chisora, he's a maniac. That dude can take a lot of punches. He's fearless. If we don't know anything else about the man, that's why we all watch him fight, because it's just like something brutal is going to happen tonight because Chisora ain't going nowhere. His whole game is built around how much he can take from you and then dish his own. And it was very, telling, I feel like, for Usyk because it was his first time with the big boys in the big leagues. And I got to be honest with you, I am a fan of Oleksandr Usyk, and I got to be honest with you, I was not impressed with that performance at all. I wasn't impressed with his ability to get away from Chisora, which is also very shocking because at least in the game of boxing, Chisora is definitely on his way, out of the sport in terms of age. And then when you talk about skill level, I'm like, Usyk can dance circles around this guy in a boxing ring, but he didn't do it. Now, there could be a few reasons why. Like I said, you're fighting a bigger guy. More mass means you got to hit harder, means more power shots, means it's taking a lot more out of you, which also means when you come in contact with something, that impact is also taking something out of you. But that bigger guy, his jab is probably feeling like a smaller guy's right hand. So that's also taking something out of you. Not to mention you're on your bicycle the entire night because he hits that hard. That's taking something out of you. And it was like about like maybe the 6th, 7th round, Usyk didn't have legs. And granted, Chisora is a body puncher. He's going to go straight to your body. Is Anthony Joshua a body puncher? No, but he's a pretty accurate puncher. And like I said, he has a weapon that Usyk doesn't have. He has a jab. He also has something else Usyk doesn't have. Naturally, he has height and reach. So he has some things in his favor. This is a tough one, to be honest with you, because if we're just looking at this purely by skill, there should be no reason why Oleksandr Usyk wouldn't dance circles around Anthony Joshua. But when you look at the fact that he couldn't, yes, he won the fight, but there were times where it looks like he was just surviving with Chisora. And that shouldn't be. And when you're just talking levels, that should not be. Levels, period. Nothing personal, just levels. That should not be. But again, when you're fighting bigger people, that's what happens. They kind of nullifies what you do so well. Now you got to work twice as hard because you definitely don't want to get caught in any compromising positions. So Joshua's jab versus Usyk's footwork. I think a jab can pretty much stop I'm not going to say stop anything. I will say nullify a lot of things. Not to mention Anthony Joshua has a very long reach. Not to mention Anthony Joshua is not some soft puncher either. So it's going to be interesting because Usyk's going to get hit. For all the people who think, oh, he's just going to dance, he's going to be a magician in there. No, he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit. How he takes those punches, we're going to see. But the difference between AJ and Chisora is Chisora starts down to the body, works his way upstairs. AJ starts with the jab and over time will work his way downstairs. That's the difference. Now you say, well, it's okay. Well, yeah, think about it. Chisora's working downstairs, which means it can take your legs away. But you get hit upstairs, that can just take you out. I still don't know how well Usyk's chin holds up. That was one of the things that I was looking forward to see in the Chisora fight. I really didn't get a chance to see it. He never really got hit clean. He's pretty good at slipping a shot or whatever. But because of the punch output that Usyk gives and every bout that he's ever had, even when he was, you know, in a smaller weight class, he throws a lot of punches. When you throw a lot of punches, you are at risk because something's coming back. That being said, if you're throwing combinations of 5 and 6 punches, AJ's only got to throw one to stun you. Just to stun you. One of these stun you, and he can follow it up. We all know AJ's, in a straight line, AJ's gold. Like, AJ is gold in a straight line. I'm not saying he's doing all this and he's doing all, no. But a straight line, AJ's gold. He is golden. He's a pretty crisp puncher. And I love his physique right now because he realized, I don't need to be that bulky. I don't need to be that big and strong to fight Usyk, because that's going to work against me. It's not going to work for me. Because he knows Usyk's game is to move. He knows he has to stay close to him. He knows he has to stalk him. Usyk's not going to stalk Anthony Joshua. He's not. He's not that type of guy. Usyk doesn't hit that hard anyway. For his real division, nonetheless, stepping up, you know, in the heavyweights, he doesn't hit that hard. So he's definitely not about to stalk Anthony Joshua. But he is going to try to play with him as best he can and throw as many punches, throws from as many angles as he possibly can. That's going to be his game. And he's going to do a lot of circling. But AJ has shown his second fight with Andy Ruiz, I can circle too. And he did it very well. And he was very, very, very disciplined that fight. So again, there are some things about AJ that trouble me for Usyk. I have to say I gotta go with AJ. I don't see why he can't. I'm not saying he can take Usyk out. Again, I don't know, looking at his past fights, and I have always known who Usyk was. But I still have never really seen him hit clean, and definitely get hit clean and then get followed up with another clean shot. I've never seen that. So I don't know how well he can handle a punch, you know, especially a follow-up clean punch. I don't know. And that this will be the fight, I can tell you that. This will definitely be the fight. But I am definitely looking forward to it. At the moment, it will probably change, you know, just me being me. You know, I'm in my feelings, and some days I'm AJ, and some days I'm Usyk. And I could be like, you know, tomorrow I'm Usyk. But as of right now, I just don't see how Usyk is getting away from AJ's jab, getting away from AJ's size. And again, just looking at the tail of the tape when Usyk fought Chisora, he couldn't back him off. AJ's bigger than Chisora. What are you going to do with a guy who's bigger than a guy who you couldn't back off before? I don't know. So that's a problem right there. So this is the first of maybe 2 more videos coming, you know, addressing this fight. But I want you to tell me what you think down below. And as always, like and subscribe.